So, Weezer. They're one of the most popular alternative rock bands in the world. They've sold 35 million records worldwide, 10 million of those being in the US alone. Whether you know them from the Buddy Holly lick, the Blue Album memes, you love every single song, or you just never heard of them at all, Weezer is a very popular band in many different ways. But just in case you haven't heard of them, let me give you some brief history. Weezer is a rock band formed in 1992 in California. The band is currently made up of lead vocalist and guitarist Rivers Cuomo, guitarist Brian Bell, bassist Scott Schreiner, and drummer Pat Wilson. With their nerdy rock style and the wacky yet honest and bitter songwriting of Rivers Cuomo, the band has struck the hearts of millions for many decades. But the thing is, many people don't actually like Weezer. So much so that it's even a joke in their fan base that most Weezer fans don't even enjoy them. You see, many people think that Weezer stopped being good in '96, after they released their second album, Pinkerton. Others may think that they never stopped being good. Still others, including me, think that Weezer may have had a few bumps in the road, looking at you, 2009's Raditude. But regardless of that, Weezer is still a very great band with many great albums. The topic of what Weezer's best album is a whole other debate. Is it Blue? Is it Pinkerton? Well, I personally answer that Weezer's best album lies in their 2016 self-titled release, Weezer, The White Album. Released in 2016, Weezer's White Album is most well known as the band's Beach album. The album has the band return to their roots, as the album has been compared to the band's early works, such as their 1994 Blue Album and 1996 Pinkerton. The album was produced by Weezer superfan and producer Jake Sinclair, who pushed the band to return to their early sound. The album is heavily inspired by Rivers Cuomo's youth growing up on the beaches of California. The album features lyrics about heartbreak, written by a man who's always been known to write upon his struggles with finding love in his life. On the outside, many people may think this is just another Weezer album describing sadness and struggles with love. However, on the inside, this album is special. This album tells a loose concept of an isolated young man who we can only assume is a fictionalized version of Cuomo himself, who moves to California, falls in love, and eventually gets his heart broken. So, why do I like it so much? Well, in my personal opinion, Weezer's White Album is a very special album because of its relatability, unique and grand songwriting, and its ability to tell a cohesive and smart concept that builds up until it all explodes in the end of the album. As of recording, the album is celebrating its 6th-year anniversary. So in order to celebrate, we'll be diving into and analyzing the concept, with a track-by-track look through my favorite album of all time. So let's jump into it. The album opens on California Kids, with the ambient sounds of a beach on a sunny summer day. You can hear wind blowing and the sounds of excited children. It's a great way to open this summer album. The lyrics of the song are reassuring and optimistic. Cuomo describes California as a place where you could travel to, where all your problems just slip away. The song is the start of the concept of the album, describing the young man moving to California. Overall, California Kids is an incredible opening to the album. It introduces the concept well, and it shows the listener what they'll be expecting with this whole album. Heavy-hitting, catchy guitars, and upbeat, powerful, and optimistic lyrics. And with some guitar feedback, we smoothly transition into our next track. Wind in Our Sail is a standard Weezer love song. The song is built upon a jumpy sounding piano riff. The lyrics of the song use references to scientific, literary, and historical figures such as famous biologists Charles Darwin and Gregor Mendel to describe the love between a boy and a girl. The song builds upon the concept, with a boy potentially seeing a girl and falling in love. And expect to be hearing songs about girls a lot, because yeah, that's all of this album. And that definitely isn't an exception for this next song. Thank God for Girls was the first single released for the album, being the first look for fans into it. As you can judge from the title, yeah, it's a complicated topic. The first verse describes
the girl in the pastry shop with the net in her hair is making a cannoli for you to take on your hiking trip in the woods with your bros that you've known since second grade, and you main kind of dragons or ruffians and be called upon to employ your testosterone in a battle for supremacy and access to females glued to the TV. And even if you are victorious, you may receive many cuts, bruises, and scrapes, and you will require band-aids and antiseptic ointments and tender loving kisses on your stab wounds. And when you come home, she will be there waiting for you with a fire in her eyes and a big fat cannoli to shove in your mouth.
And I think now is the time to get the elephant out of the room. Yeah, this sounds problematic. Like, extremely problematic. And Weezer definitely hasn't strayed away from being problematic in the past. I mean, just look at No One Else from Blue, or literally the entirety of Pinkerton. But this song quite possibly may be one of the smartest uses of sexism out there. Because instead of just using basic gender roles to discriminate women, it flips sexism on its head completely, almost being a parody of the people who really think like this. The whole point of the song is to play with those basic gender stereotypes. In fact, in the chorus, the roles are reversed. Rivers takes qualities that are expected for men to have and swaps them around. And instead of the men having these qualities, it's the woman. This song isn't sexist, it's a love letter to women all around the world. The song was also inspired by Rivers Cuomo's time on Tinder. While he is a married man, with the permission of his wife, he used Tinder to experiment with meeting people.
The truth is that I'm just as scared, I don't know how to act. I wish that I could get to know her better, but meeting up in real life will cause illusion to shadow.
In this lyric, Cuomo describes Tinder from his perspective, describing the concept of when he would meet someone on Tinder, and he would love to meet them in real life, but he's afraid that this meet would affect the relationship with the person. And to further prove how much of a love letter to women this really is, during Weezer's summer 2016 tour, while the band played the song, images of powerful women in history were projected in the background, such as Oprah and Serena Williams. And at the end of the song, the LGBTQ+ flag was displayed. So yeah, overall, the song may seem pretty creepy on the outside, but if you look into it, the song isn't creepy at all. It's smart as hell. It's a fun, wacky love letter to women. And the next song, yep, you guessed it. It's about a girl. The fourth track on the album, Girl We Got a Good Thing is another standard Weezer love song, but it's honestly one of their best. This song begins with a happy sounding chorus, backed by jingle bells.
Girl, we got a good thing. You know where this is heading. Just a couple of birds, happy to be singing. Girl, we got a good thing, and I don't see this ending. You wanna fly? Do you wanna flee? Do you wanna get away with me? Do you wanna face the great unknown?
The song speaks upon the young man's newly found love and how optimistic he is feeling about the future of the relationship. The song continues the concept of the album, describing the young man in a relationship and completely in love with this unnamed girl.
Puerto Rico would be perfect for a destination wedding. I'll drive to Ventura on the 101. It sounds like fun to me.
And while this song may be all lovey-dovey and stuff, the next song completely reverses it. The next song isn't your average love letter. It's a negative one. Just a very negative love letter. But it's still about a girl. Do You Wanna Get High was the second single released for the album, and it could have easily been a B-side from Pinkerton. From the beginning, the song blows you away with its ear-grating guitar feedback that progresses into the heavy-hitting lyrics.
Crush up the blue and inhale through your nose. Scrape every cork from the wood in the floor.
And unlike what it may sound like, this song is not promoting drug use. The song was actually written about a rocky relationship Cuomo was in back in 2000 to 2001, where he was influenced by her to, in the words of Cuomo on the song Oh Girlfriend, take pills and mellow out.
Do you wanna get high? Don't eat no dinner tonight. I took a road trip to Mexico and scored 100 count. Do you wanna get high? It's like we're falling in love. We can listen to Baccarat and stop at any point.
The song is also interpreted to be part of the concept, as the song could represent the bumpy road of the young man's relationship. But no matter how much happens to him, he'll always be in love.
Keep on doing what you do, 'cause I'll never get tired of you. Don't need booze, 'cause I'll never get tired of you. Stop the tape, kill the lights, close the drink, and keep doing what you do, 'cause I'll never get tired of you.
And after all that darkness, he's completely in love with this girl again. King of the World was the third and final single released for the album. And yeah, it's a love song. But this isn't just about some random girl Rivers dated 20 years ago. The song is directly written by Cuomo to his wife, Kyoko Cuomo. This song directly references Kyoko's life, her relationship to Cuomo, her childhood, and her Japanese culture. It's a very sweet love song. In the first verse, Cuomo describes his wife looking at all the depressing news stories and being saddened by them, and hiding her pain. However, Cuomo reassures her that she can talk to him about anything.
Walk by the magazines, sitting on the rack at the CVS. One more sad movie star divorce. 300 died in an airplane wreck. And you think of all the people suffering, and you bury that pain by
When describing her reaction to this verse in a citation on Genius.com, Kyoko said, "It's very reassuring. It's really nice to hear that. You already told me that I can tell you everything because you won't be affected in the way that I was affected. So it's nice to know that I have somebody to share with. You're the first person I confided in."
If I was king of the world, you'd be my girl. You wouldn't have to shed one single tear unless you wanted to. 'Cause yeah, I know what it's like. If I was king of the world, yeah, girl, we could ride a greyhound all the way to the Galapagos and stay for the rest of our lives.
In the second verse of the song, Cuomo sings about Kyoko's childhood trauma and how he will always support her if she needs it.
Dad hit you on the hand just for holding your chopsticks wrong. Then your mom locked you in a shed, and Uncle Sam dropped an atom bomb. But you're not alone, you can let it go and just weep on my breast and cover me with your tenderness, and that pain will pass.
The song can also be interpreted into the concept as a young man's relationship going very well. But we've had enough love in this album, so I think it's really time to get into the downers. Summer Lane and Drunk Dory is Rivers Cuomo's favorite song from the whole album. However, when interviewed about the song on the Song Explorer podcast, Cuomo admitted that the song wasn't really written about anything.
If somebody asked me what the song was about, I would say I'm trying to write songs that I don't understand. So if I could answer that question and tell you what it was about, then I failed as a songwriter. I want to enjoy my own songs, and once I feel like I totally understand a song and there's no mystery there, then I can't really enjoy it anymore. So I like to create these enigmatic 3-minute adventures that have me scratching my head for years.
This fact isn't really surprising for the man who coded a bot to write his tweets for him. But anyways, ignore this admittance of nonsense lyrics. I personally interpret the song as the breakup album of the song. The young man and the girl in his life have broken up. She broke up with him and left him all alone. He tries to act like he doesn't care, but he truly just wants to know what happened and what went wrong.
Oh, she left me there. She left me all alone. Oh, but I don't care. No, I don't mind at all. What really happened? I got distracted. I suck at getting off the phone. Boy in the bubble, saying I love you. I should have written her a note. Somewhere in drunk Dory, when I'm feeling lonely, I don't wanna go. Somewhere in drunk Dory, wish that they would show me I can't let 'em go.
And now the man is sad. Like, extremely sad. He's sad enough to even become sexist. And we'll get to that soon enough with this next song. LA Girls is the 8th track on the album. That Z in the title was an addition made by guitarist Brian Bell, and along with adding that, he also co-wrote the song. As I mentioned before, yes, this is another problematic song. This song is just reeking of incel. And hearing the lyrics, it makes me scared to even defend Rivers Cuomo anymore. In the lyrics, Cuomo begs for attention from a girl, but they simply push him away. He asks these LA girls to act their age just because they don't like him back.
LA girls, please act your age. You treat me like I have the plague, a cigar and gimbal in the wind. LA girls, please act your age. Sweeten up your lemonade and meet me down at Tower 28.
So yeah, yeesh, sexist. Very sexist. But lots of this problematic content can be tracked back to the concept of the album. Let me explain. You see, if Do You Want to Get High was the throwback to Pinkerton, this is for sure the throwback to 1994's The Blue Album, both in its instrumentation and songwriting. The writing on the song is heavily similar to Blue. On the 1994 release, a depressed, nerdy, and isolated 20-year-old Rivers Cuomo writes about his extremely flawed thoughts about women, after having some not too positive experiences with them. Then, 25 years later, a married 40-year-old Rivers Cuomo puts himself in the character of his 20-year-old self, and writes about the experiences and feelings he had at this time. He may not have these struggles now, but he's writing from the perspective of himself then, and this leads to those flawed thoughts to come in, making the song seem problematic. But when Cuomo is under this character, he speaks about the feelings of the character and not himself at that time. This makes perfect sense with the concept of the album, as the young man in the story is a characterization of Cuomo as a young man. At this point, he has been dumped by the girl he thought he loved. He is heartbroken. He tries to express his love, but is pushed away, leading to all of his negative thoughts to bottle up and come out in negative thoughts about the person, or mainly the group of people, who made him feel this way. Those LA girls. Now that I've explained that, let's move on to the best part of this entire song, the incredible bridge. The song's bridge features a powerful musical build-up, reminiscent of the build-up in Only in Dreams from the Blue Album. In this bridge, Cuomo continues to beg for the girl to be in his life, promising that he will love her more than anyone else in the whole world. These lyrics are repeated multiple times as the guitars dramatically build up. This build-up leads into a solo led by guitarist Brian Bell, and it's almost magical. The way this slow, soft sounding build-up leads in this hard-hitting, shredding loud guitar solo is absolutely magnificent. The song ends with a repeat of the chorus. So, getting the sexist lyrics out of the way, this song is an absolute highlight to the album, featuring those classic heartbreaking Weezer lyrics, the loud shredding guitar solos, the powerful build-ups, all features Weezer has always been known for. Alright, now that I'm done geeking out, let's hop into the strangest, yet really good addition to this album. Jacked Up is the 9th track on the album. The song is built upon a slow, depressing sounding piano and is Cuomo using his falsetto voice. The song was written about the same relationship from Do You Want to Get High, specifically shown from the first line of the song. How does this connect, you may ask? Well, if we take a look at a lyric citation written by Rivers, we will see this interesting tidbit of information. We only ever hung out at night, but never all night. I didn't spend the night once. My mom once said that your souls combine if you sleep with someone overnight. The song describes the young man from the rest of the album as being so heartbroken after failing love. He's been rejected and pushed away so many times that he is so low in life. He would do anything for a girl to love him, but he's pushed away every time. In the bridge, the lyrics describe the man after a one-night stand, and how even after just one night with this girl, he would do anything and give up anything for her.
You're the sun that I'm orbiting. I burn in your heat. Supernova and cosmic dust. You spawn galaxies. We'll sleep together, sleep together, sleep forever. We'll sleep together, sleep forever, minus one. Say those forbidden words to me. Eagle girl.
This also shows how desperate he's feeling after being heartbroken. And now the man is at the lowest point of his life. He is alone and heartbroken. This leads us into the 10th and final track of the album.
Hey, 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 hey.
Yeah, as you guessed from the title, it's a bummer, alright. The song is led by a slow and solemn acoustic guitar. The lyrics describe the album's main character completely heartbroken. He has had his heart broken so many times that all he wants is for the summer to end.
I just want the summer to end. What's the point of trying to pretend? She told me to follow the rules. Not all 19-year-olds are cool.
This young man is so isolated from life, he almost has no feelings at all, almost like he was dead.
No life from Paloma to Rose. Sometimes I feel like I'm a ghost.
He feels like his heart is landlocked, aka an area surrounded by land. However, he uses the lyric "nothing but tourist shops," referring to the tourist shops in California, to show that although his heart may be full and surrounded, it is full with useless land, such as those stores owned by greedy people selling cheap novelty items to tourists scattered all around the beaches of California. He's sad, realizing that this girl he loves is over him.
My heart is sold and locked. Nothing but tourist shops. It's just like a curse, you see. This bummed out feeling that she's over me. She's over me.
In the song's bridge, the man talks about how he would love to further isolate himself by doing things alone, such as listening to music and dancing along. However, he has left his headphones in the seat of his former love's car, and he is unable to even face her at this point.
I can't even dance in the dark, 'cause my headphones are still on the seat of a car.
In the final verse, the man's emotions are causing him to be unable to just relax and have fun with friends. Rivers uses the famous 50s summer song Kumbaya to represent this. Kumbaya is a famous song for carefree teenagers to dance along to in summer on the beach, and it's assumed that the young man used to do this too with his friends. But after all his bad summer experiences, he doesn't even have the motivation to participate anymore.
Kumbaya makes me get violent. I just want this summer to
With that, a painful sounding scream from Cuomo, and boom, the loud, heavy hitting guitars have returned, and this explosion is so incredibly powerful. Brian Bell is back to shred a spectacular sounding guitar solo, and it brings chills to my spine every single time I hear it. It feels like you're floating in space when you hear it. It's so breathtaking. But just like that, the album fades out and the summer ends. We hear those exact same ambient beach sounds played in California Kids. And we're back where we began. Endless Bummer is an incredible song. It's one of the greatest closers of all time. It wraps up the album so very well. The lyrics and instrumentals are just so powerful sounding. The whole album has been building up to this point, this combustion of a magnificent amalgamation of sounds, and that's where it all ends. Weezer's White Album released on April 1st, 2016, to critical acclaim by fans and critics alike. People loved it for its amazing summer feel and its throwback to the old Weezer sound. Those are two of the reasons I love it. But something else about this album shines in comparison to those two reasons. Weezer's White Album is a special album because of its relatability, unique and grand songwriting, and its ability to tell a cohesive and smart concept that builds up until it explodes in the end of the album. It's so much more than just a classic sounding Weezer summer record. It's an album that tells the emotional and heart-wrenching story of an isolated young man chasing love on the beaches of California in the 90s. Sure, it may be creepy at some points, but most of that can be tracked back to the strange and incel-y songwriting of Rivers Cuomo. Cuomo is a weird man, but he definitely has a passion for his music. And the White Album is one of his masterpieces. It is, in my opinion, an alternative rock masterpiece. He wrote it from the heart. It's so obvious he saw himself in the young man that's centered in the concept of the album. It's inspired by his days in the 90s, chasing love in California. That's what makes the album so realistic and emotional, because these were his real experiences. If you've ever been a man in the world who's ever felt isolated, a man who's ever felt lonely, or a man who's ever felt like they don't fit in, this album was made for you. So I recommend you listen to it, because who knows, maybe it'll become special for you too.